Hi Leo, and welcome to your reading for December. Thanks for your patience. I'm running a little bit late this month. Tune in with me please while I'm shuffling. Please connect with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to connect to my higher self and guides so that we can create a feedback loop to make sure that the messages that come through here today are tailored for you. And if you take a moment to set up that dialogue, this will very much be a personal reading for you. So bring all your presence and focus to this reading. Set aside any tasks that you may have on the go so you're not distracted. And all of your presence and awareness is here with me, and you're contributing your energy to this reading. We're going to have a look at the general energies available at this time. Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Nine of Cups reversed. Two of Swords crossing. Chariot reversed. Page of Wands. Strength. Ten of Swords. The Emperor. Five of Wands. Six of Pentacles. Page of Cups reversed. The Fool. Six of Swords reversed. Three of Wands reversed. And Five of Swords reversed. Okay, interesting reading. Just give me a moment here to tune in. I'm hearing discomfort. Discomfort. Yeah, discomfort. I feel like the general feeling I'm getting from the spread is that there has been some kind of event which may have been upsetting, but more than it being upsetting, it's kind of had an impact or an effect that is maybe a little unexpected and is somewhat affecting your sense of comfort and well-being and general sense of happiness around this time. You have Strength and the Emperor in your reading. Strength is in the position of where you're coming into this reading from. So this is the recent past, and the Emperor is in the position of you and how you see yourself. So I'm kind of feeling like this could be two people. This could be you and another person that you're dealing with. That's what I feel in this reading. These are very archetypal energies. Like typically the Strength card can be viewed as Leo, and the Emperor can be read as an Aries person. But don't be too attached to astrological signs and dismiss the reading because the person you're dealing with is not one of those signs. We're just talking about archetypal energies here, or personality traits. That's what's more important to look at. You also have the Chariot in this reading, which is the Cancerian card from the Major Arcana. So you could be dealing with a person or a situation where things maybe have not turned out the way that you thought they might. And that might be causing a feeling of a little bit of a struggle right now, because you might have to be going back around and over things, or you might have to be processing information or events in a way that you didn't expect or you didn't think would come up. And it may be also leaving you feeling a little bit side-blinded. That's what I feel. Not only is it discomforting, but it's kind of surprising, but maybe not in a good way. So where can we go from here with this information? I feel that some of the energy that's here in this reading, given that you have two fives in the spread, both in the upright position, is that you might have some there could be some tension or disagreeing or arguing that could be part of what this situation is that's being described here, that may have led to some kind of conclusion where you may feel like you want to end something with a person. Either you want to end a situation. It could be a work situation. This could be describing your employment. You may have had some kind of disagreement or some kind of tension or situation or arguing or something like that with with a boss or an employer or some people at work that may be leaving you feeling like you don't want to continue being involved in that circle of people any longer, and you might be choosing to move on. It could also be a romantic situation here. But given that Nine of Cups is at the heart of the reading in reverse, okay, we had the Ten of Cups at the bottom of the deck in the upright. So it could be describing a family scenario here, in which case it may not necessarily be the easiest thing or the most appropriate thing to simply walk away from it, even if you might want to. But there's some kind of closure that's happening as a result of this situation. And even though the circumstances may not be ideal, it may not be friendly, it may not be good feeling, there's something beneficial that's coming out of this closure. And what I feel that is some kind of unhealthy way of relating. It could have something to do with unhealthy boundaries that you may have been maintaining, that you may now understand you need to address very rapidly in order to correct your energetic field, not only to kind of sort of protect yourself from these specific people, but you could be recognizing that this might be some kind of pattern that you've been experiencing in life, and that your level of energetic boundaries may not have been properly acquiesced, and that might be what you are realizing from this situation needs to happen here. And I feel that even though there might be something uncomfortable in this situation, there's something pragmatic about your energy in this spread that lets me know that you're able to kind of glean understanding from what might be an unhealthy or a toxic situation that you've been in, that's leading you on to a new part of your sort of personal development, where you're understanding that it doesn't have to be something that you take personally and allow it to kind of impact you in an emotional way that's really heavy and would need a long time to heal from, but rather you can see from a perspective of how you're being shown what you need to adjust and address within yourself, that can allow you to kind of be just simply pragmatic about the circumstances and use it as a learning experience, so that you can move forward here into some next era or next chapter or next job or next whatever, with a feeling of having understood and grasp what it is that the universe is trying to show you from this situation, so that you can be lighthearted and trusting moving forward from here, trusting in yourself primarily, that you know better about how to manage your own energy in a way that will kind of minimize this kind of impact that you might be dealing with right now from a certain circumstance. Now you have this Six of Swords in reverse and the Chariot in reverse in the top part of the readings here. These cards both talk about movement and travel and going forward, having a direction. So seeing them both in reverse here in the spread, it kind of makes me feel like you are what I just described there about it being maybe about a pattern. It's something about you understanding things from your past. Maybe you're remembering certain circumstances or situations from the past where there's something resonant or familiar or similar in other experiences to this one, which is helping you to kind of gain wisdom and understanding and clarity about this situation. And with this, in the hopes and fears, you have Six of Pentacles upright with Six of Swords in reverse. So this could indicate also that there is some issue around balance of power and also reciprocity. So it could be that something that you're dealing with here is maybe you gave generously in a situation, and maybe you're feeling like you were taken advantage of. That could be a specific message for someone. And I'm not saying here don't be generous, not at all. Generosity is a beautiful thing, and it's one of the most joyful things. What I'm suggesting here is that you may need to address where to be generous and how to be generous and with whom to be generous, in order to not experience this kind of energy before. Because what's important is in life is balance and harmony and reciprocity. And it's not to say that you give in order to receive, but you may need to realize that you have to learn how to delineate between people who are worthy and deserving of generosity and who will appreciate it and respect and show gratitude for what they receive, especially if someone's having a hard time and you want to help them, right? And then there's people that are sort of entitled, and that's the kind of energy where I'm sort of bringing to your attention here now, is like learning to understand the difference between the energies that certain people hold and realizing where and how to put your energy so that you don't feel a sense of depletion or strife or difficulty as a result of your willingness to be generous. Now down here in these two quadrants of the reading, Emperor reversed with 5 of Swords and 3 of Wands reversed with 5 of Wands upright. So this 3 of Wands in reverse is kind of connecting me to this Chariot and 6 of Swords in reverse, in that it feels like kind of using your mind and your memory to go back to the past and locate places where there might have been something similar to the experience that you're having now, to other points along your past trajectory that might bring clues back to you that helps you understand what pattern is going on here that you are being asked to address by the universe. But this Emperor here with the 5 of Swords, just give me a second there. As I said in the beginning of the reading, I feel like it could be a person. Like this Emperor, Strength and Chariot could be describing people, archetypes. And I feel like it seems pretty obvious that Strength would be you, given that we have your Leo there, right there. So this Emperor could be a person that you're dealing with where you may be having some difficulty in making progress in your communication. There could be some butting of heads. There could be some either outright arguing and fighting, or stonewalling and non-communication. Could be either or both of those in different times. But I feel like with this Emperor and the 5 of Swords together, it kind of feels like that thing I was describing earlier with regards to, a lack of reciprocity, a bit of entitlement, maybe energy going in one direction and not much being reciprocated. This person could be a little bit of a bully, it could be that this 5 of Swords could be describing a tendency with this person that they like to debate, but they don't actually want to have a conversation. They just want to say their opinion, and they may want to either speak over you or prevent you from sharing what you think about something, and just have their opinion be the loudest one and the only one, and have that be the end of the conversation, so that there's no finessing of people's position to reach a point of mutual understanding. It's kind of one direction. So that could be helping you to understand maybe who we're talking about here in this reading. And of course, in all the readings, the positions could be reversed. So this could actually be describing you. And if that's the case, just look at that with honesty and humility and see if you need to find a place within yourself where you can find more balance and more willingness to be receptive to other people and let others have their voice and share what they feel and actually have a conversation. Now, what else is here? So I haven't addressed this Page of Wands here at the foundation. There's 2 pages in this reading, Page of Wands upright and Page of Cups in reverse. I feel that what this is describing is simply that on a deeper level, on a subconscious level, on a soul level, there is an element of, I've already described it a few times. Basically, this feels to me like you're in a position right now where circumstances are actually just guiding you towards what you need to learn and where you need to grow. And I feel these 2 pages are describing that kind of student energy that you can bring to this situation to recognize and acknowledge that you are gathering understanding as a result of the circumstances that you're experiencing right now. And again, it may not be comfortable, it might not be easy, it might not be an effortless experience. But I think if you can bring that energy of the pages to this situation where you are in a space of openness, you're in a space of learning, you're in a space where you realize you're a beginner in a certain way, in a certain endeavor, or in a certain quality of understanding of something. You know, you may not be a young person, but you may be realizing that in a certain area of your life, or in a certain area of personality development, or in a certain area of spiritual development, you may need to bring an awareness or an energy of learning and being willing to grow, and taking that position of the spiritual seeker or the inquirer to actually make the most out of the situation that you're in here, so it doesn't pass you by, and then you may find yourself in similar circumstances in the future if you don't actually address the core of what is going on here. So yeah, Fool in the outcome position with this Page of Cups in reverse, it could be describing that, as I said, like the willingness to set out on a new journey, to have a new beginning in a certain area of life, to perhaps address certain areas of your personality or your development that needs to be maybe fine-tuned, or just simply have awareness brought to, in order to come to a place where you can sort of have a fresh, clean slate and move into the next part of your life with a greater understanding of how you can simply have better relationships, be a better communicator, be more receptive, be more generous, all of those things. So at the bottom of the deck, as I mentioned, we have this 10 of Cups. There's now the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. There's 8 of Wands upright, and the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Three tens in your reading now. So there's definitely something changing here. Tens in a reading can certainly describe culminations, endings, closures, completions. And the 8 of Wands here is describing something happening pretty swiftly. It's an activated, swift kind of synchronicities, things like that happening. But then you have this Knight of Pentacles in reverse here, which could be like a bit of a juxtaposition of that. Maybe it's happening quickly, but you're without a patient approach, you could miss the signs, or you could miss the information, or you could miss the communication, or you could maybe be too stubborn to see the truth of what's happening here, and perhaps miss out on a kind of clear outline of some information that's coming towards you, something like that. But these 3 tens are interesting. Definitely something is changing here. Like it may not be the end of a relationship or a job or a family situation or some kind of group, community, collective kind of thing, which is what I mean. It felt like there could be something going on here with some kind of power struggle between key individuals that may be kind of not disturbing, but like shaking things up a little. And with these 2 fives as well, it could be just that something has come to a head that is being addressed now that maybe has been like a sleeper for a little while. And it just is bringing things to the surface for them to be looked at. It may not be the end of something. It could just simply mean that people need to come together and communicate and share information in a way that maybe there hasn't been the possibility of before, in order to kind of reroute the direction of something that was maybe headed into a not good direction, because there hasn't been, seeing eye to eye. Leo, I feel that's it for the general reading. I'm going to just check over here, make sure I haven't missed anything. Harmony is coming through pretty strongly with these 2 sixes. A need for more harmony, a need for greater just understanding. You don't have to agree with people, but there needs to be understanding. That's what I feel is here. And this Two of Swords at the heart of the reading in the reverse position, I feel like there's a need here for you to be a little bit more honest with yourself and be really willing to see things as they are, not just maybe how you want to perceive them, because it places you in a certain position that you may not like that position, but for some reason that may be suiting you, if that makes sense. So be willing to be really real here and be really honest and reveal, like take off the blindfold and actually see things for exactly how they are, not how you may be perceiving them from a certain position that you've placed yourself in. Okay. I also feel like this Strength card is bringing a little bit of humility to this reading. I think there's a need for a little bit of humility in this energy. With confidence. That's a sort of a paradox there, but I feel like those two go hand in hand together in this situation. All right. I don't know if I feel like that's not the end of the reading, but I have to move on here because I don't have more to say on these specific cards. So we're going to take the Voyager deck now and shuffle again to give you a higher octave spread using the same holographic mandala spread. So again, join me while I shuffle. Send your energy into the deck so that I can get clear messages for you. And we're going to have a look at any additional information that your guides may want to convey to you. We might see some blind spots that you haven't noticed yet. We might get some practical advice about how to best deal with the circumstances to make the most out of the opportunities that we are being presented with at this time through these circumstances. So let's take a look. The bottom of the deck we have the Woman of Wands, Queen of Wands. Another card which could really be describing your energy. Okay, there's the Ten of Pentacles again in reverse, same card that we had here. So that's significant. There's the Lovers crossing, reversed. The Universe, which is the World card, in reverse. And now we have the Hermit. Seven of Pentacles, the Hierophant. Two of Wands reversed. Ten of Cups, and more repeating cards with more tens in this reading. Magician reversed. Nine of Pentacles reversed. Five of Pentacles reversed. Four of Wands reversed. Devil. And Man of Worlds, which is King of Pentacles. Alright. Interesting spread. So just give me a second to tune in here. Nines and tens are heavy in this reading. There's 3 tens from the previous reading. There's 2 tens in this reading. Excuse me. And the Nine of Pentacles as well in this reading. There was the Nine of Cups in the previous reading. So it's kind of describing something that, to me, that when I'm looking at the numbers in the cards, I'm kind of looking at where is there a pattern that's showing like a point in the trajectory of something, right? So obviously tens are kind of closing out a cycle. Nines and tens, right? So it could be that the issue that you're dealing with, and there's the Hermit as well here, which is 9 from the Major Arcana. It could be that there is a need here for you to perhaps recognize that you are close to closing something out, or that you are close to maybe finding a solution or having some answers. Could be any of those things. It could also be that maybe you are being asked to recognize that, and especially with the World card being here in the crowning card position of this reading, in the reverse position, that there could be a need here for you to recognize that it's either way. There's 2 messages here. One is that there is a need for you to kind of really culminate and close something out so that you can move on, because you had the Fool in the previous reading as well. The Fool is 0 from the Major Arcana, and the World is number 21, so it's the first and last from the Major Arcana series. So either there's a kind of a little bit of a push here from your guides to say like really tie up the loose ends here and take care of business, like really handle what's in front of you, because there is some kind of new beginning happening that's around the corner, but you may be kind of like a little bit dragging your feet on something here because for whatever reason, maybe there's some attachment. That could be what the devil is saying here. There could be some attachments. There could be some entanglement that you have with something, whether it's a relationship or a group or a situation or a job, whatever it is. If you're having an unhealthy attachment to something, and that could be, preventing you from really realizing that you are actually really kind of ready to move on, and that might be actually a little bit of, that might generate a little bit of fear in you to realize like actually you're about to start something new, and this familiarity, even though it's uncomfortable and maybe toxic, is actually something you've outgrown a long time ago, but you haven't actually pursued the closure of it because of that level of comfort, even though it's uncomfortable, if this is making sense. Hermit and Hierophant in this reading is interesting. Like, there's definitely a description here with this energy that this is a very deeply, profoundly, spiritually progressive experience that's really pushing you onward. And that's definitely coming with a bit of a heavy energy as well. Not in a bad way, but just like you're on a learning curve, most definitely. Like, this is a learning curve, and you may be climbing, and you may have been climbing for a long time, and you feel like, am I ever going to fucking finish climbing? But there are rewards waiting for you if you can manage to really dig deep here and actually, again, coming back to like what I said with the Two of Swords in the previous spread, if you can really be really honest and really reveal the truth to yourself by actually truly seeing what you are dealing with without any falsities, without any delusion, without any self-aggrandizement or self-victimization, and just actually be really pragmatic about the factors that are actually affecting you and how you are creating those things and how you are responding to those things. Then you can actually really push over the finish line successfully, and having mastered this cycle that you're in, move into the next round of things that are going to occur for you, having kind of completed something here. But there's a need for you to purify. There's a need for you to be really honest, because I know I keep saying that, but I really feel like in this reading there's something here that's saying that you may not be really seeing something for actually what it is. You have Two of Wands here in reverse. In the previous reading you had Two of Swords in reverse. So I feel like there's something in that that's sort of describing an inability to see things for what they are and actually choose the right path or choose the right approach to really working with what you're experiencing. What else we have here? Now again, we have these exact same two tens in the same orientation. 10 of Cups upright, 10 of Cups upright, 10 of Pentacles in reverse, 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Significant. I mean, it would kind of lend itself to the interpretation that we are talking about a kind of family situation here, some kind of group, community, project thing, but people you're close to. I really feel like this is about something. This is not something you're dealing with on your own. Of course you're on your own, Hermit, but you're dealing with, how do I describe that? You're dealing with the effects of maybe behavior of other people, or the combination of, individuals combining together to do something, whether that's family or business or work or creative endeavors, whatever. There's something about like people who've come together, and some kind of the issues that have arisen as a result of those personalities or whatever, like differences that's natural, that would happen in those kind of environments. And I feel what's here is that you may have outgrown that kind of pursuit in a certain way. Not to say that you're better than those people, or that you know more than those people, or that or that you are more evolved or anything. It's not that. It's. I feel that it's got to do with just a vibrational dissonance that you may not be addressing, and you might be coming up against conflict again and again in a certain environment, and you may simply need to recognize that there's just a vibrational dissonance that you may need to just seek to harmonize and address on your own. I feel like this Hermit energy here is a very key part of this reading, the Hermit at the foundation. I feel like there's an element here where you may be getting, your guidance is kind of saying, like, you may just need to step away from an environment of multiplicity of people, so that you can actually just feel your own vibration, feel your own frequency, and understand yourself in a context that's different from the one that you've been in. I think that's the best way I can say that. I think you need a contextual shift to get a better understanding of actually where you are in your own energy, rather than in relation to the reflection that you get from other people that may not actually be harmonically suited to you at this moment. We get there in the end. Okay, let's address this quadrant. We have hopes and fears here. Magician reversed with Four of Wands reversed. Again, this Four of Wands to me feels like related to this Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles energy, where there's some kind of group activity or something like doing things together with others that's maybe not working for you at this time, and you may be getting a misread on your own magic because something's not working for you in a certain environment, or in a certain collaboration, or in a certain dynamic, and you may be taking it the wrong way. That's what I feel. I think you're reading energy of a certain feedback loop that's actually giving you a false negative or a false reading on your own self, because the energy that's coming back to you is not actually in alignment or in a resonance with your personal vibration at this time. Like I said, it's not to say that these people are cancelled, or that you should like walk away or leave or quit or divorce or anything. I'm not saying that. I just feel like you need to get a little bit of space so that you can get some real context that's related to actually where you're at on your own terms, that's different from the reflection that you're getting from certain individuals that you're interacting with. There's a need for purification. There's a need for purification, and there's a need to see yourself in a different way. You need to get in touch with your magic again in a different way with different people. I'm repeating myself now, so let's move on. Bottom of the deck. Queen of Wands, Four of Worlds, Four of Pentacles. There's Strength again, upright. And here's the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. I like this. I really like that the Strength has come out here again in this reading as the kind of the bookend. You had it the very first card, or like the coming into this reading and coming out of this reading. So it is all about you. It's really all about you, Leo. I think this is a moment for you to rediscover and get in touch with your true nature again as an independent entity. You know, with a little bit of distance from the people that you may have been a little bit too close to for too long, that may have skewed your current perception of who you are and what's going on. Yep. I feel that's it for your reading. I'm just going to check over here. I know I didn't really go into that, but I feel like I've kind of covered everything in this reading. Yeah, purification, address any attachments that you have, get some context, take a little bit of space, step back from where you are so that you can feel your own energy and read your vibration from a place that's not necessarily about who you're being reflected by at this time. It's just about this particular moment. It may not be forever, it may not be for a long time, but I feel like you need a bit of space. You need a bit of space. Get back in touch with your own magic, with your own resources, you know. If there's been some dependencies or some attachments or some obsessiveness or something, you need space from that. You need to like purify and pull away from things that are feeling too familiar or too necessary. Okay? I'm going to leave it there. I think that's the end for your reading, Leo. Thank you so much for watching. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found some things in there that you can work with. Not everything in this reading is going to be for everyone. This is a general reading after all. So just use what you need, but be honest in all ways. And thank you for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. I will see you in the next reading.